Hello everyone, it's Kristine Vicente with Queen City Stamp Art, and I'm back today with card number 5. It's day number 5 of the 12 Days of Christmas card series here on my channel. And today I'm going to be using the Poinsettia Petals suite to create the beautiful Christmas card. So this suite is amazing. It actually has tons of product. We're going to be using 2 of the designer series papers, this little wood grain paper and this pretty little vine paper. This particular pattern actually has a die that coordinates and will cut out this poinsettia. So this would make a very quick and easy Christmas card if you use this sheet of paper and cut out the poinsettias this way instead of having to stamp them. We're actually going to stamp one today and die cut it. But that's a fun way also to make a quick Christmas card. So let's get busy with this one. We're going to start with a base card of Whisper White. And this is a top folding card. So you would cut your cardstock in half with the short end at the top of the trimmer. And the finished card, of course, is 5.5 by 4 1/4. But when you score it, you'd cut the sheet at 4 1/4 and score it at 5.5 for the top fold. So that's what we're starting with. Then we're going to add a layer of designer series paper from this Poinsettia Petals suite. And I'm just going to layer that on, just simple like this. I also took a second piece that would coordinate with this, and we're going to trim the end of it. We're just going to trim up the middle about a 1/2 inch and then go corner to center to create the little fishtail pennant. And then we're going to layer this on as well. And I'm just going to make it even with the other designer series paper. Just like that, and those coordinate really nicely. We'll set this aside for a minute and we'll do a little stamping. So to create the poinsettia, let's start with the sentiment. The sentiment is going to be stamped in soft suede ink. And let me see if I have it here. I didn't put it on a block. Okay, just a second. Here it is, sorry about that. So we're just going to stamp Happy Holidays here on the little sentiment strip in soft suede ink, just like that. Then we're going to use, the stamp set itself has several different poinsettias. You could stamp these 3 layers and cut them out separately and then stack them together to make a nice big full poinsettia, or you can stamp this single poinsettia that's already complete. You could also stamp a smaller layer to die cut and put over top of this one. That's also very pretty. I've done it a number of different ways, but for this particular card, because we would be making these cards in multiple, we're going to stick with one poinsettia on red. So I'm going to stamp a red flower, a real red poinsettia on real red cardstock. And then we're just going to die cut this out. Same thing with the leaves. The leaves we're going to stamp in garden green. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to stamp a poinsettia on here, right here on the envelope, so it matches. And then we're going to stamp the leaves in garden green. So we're just going to ink that up and stamp 2 of the same leaf. And then I'm going to take the coordinating dies and die cut these out. And then what we end up with are these die cut pieces. So we'll save those for the finished card. And now we'll layer that all together. I'm just going to get these out of the way. Okay, so we'll bring this card back in and finish this up. So for this, we're going to lay this piece down, and I'm going to glue this flat down to the card with my adhesive, my little tape runner adhesive. And I'm going to put this about halfway down, or maybe a 1/3 of the way down, and just line it up with the edge of the designer series paper like that. Then I'm going to take my poinsettia flower and I'm going to pop that up with dimensional adhesive. I'm just going to use the minis today because I have them handy. put a few in the center. There we go. And then I'm just going to position this so that it doesn't interfere with the sentiment, like that. Then I'm going to glue the leaves flat onto the base card. I'm just going to tuck them in underneath the poinsettia petals. Like this. And you can arrange them however you like. I think for this card, I think I'll do them like this for today. This is a little different than the one that I made in the photo. And then we're going to embellish. So to embellish this one, I thought it would be fun to use the holiday, the basic holiday rhinestones, because they have some golden colored ones. And so I thought we would use the yellow to make it kind of authentic. And I'm just going to put 3 in the center of the flower to make it sparkle. Let's see. There's also some linen thread here that I was going to add, just to add to the kind of rustic look of this card with the wood grain paper and the traditional color scheme. And we're just going to add this pretty little air bow. I take my scissors, trim that off, and get a glue dot. There we go. Just add this to the center, the knot to the center of the glue, and pick it off and stick it right here under the sentiment, just like that. Yeah, just like that. And that's the finished card. So by limiting how many pieces you use and doing sort of a flat poinsettia instead of a layered poinsettia, it really saves on time when you're making multiples. If you're trying to make you know, a few really gorgeous cards, you could certainly layer it up and it would be really fun. Another project that I made using this particular stamp set and the dies and the papers from this suite is this project. This is an 8x8 frame, picture frame. And let me just lift this up a tiny bit. And what I did was I just cut some squares, some layering square dies to layer up those squares. And then I added some of the layered poinsettias on here with some of the pearls. And I used a circle die to add the sentiment. So this was a really fun project too. And if you'd like more information on this project, I can send you dimensions and such and a picture. I didn't include this in the post, but I certainly can send you more information if you'd like. Just reach out at queencitystampart@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to send this information to you on this particular project. This is a really pretty decorative piece, and it would make a lovely gift too. Alrighty, well, thanks so much for watching today, and I'll be back tomorrow.